Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Oh my gosh.
This is spoopy. This is spoopy as heck.
I was not emotionally prepared for chapter end in the middle of a tea party.
I know, it's so different and weird, and I don't like any of it. I'm happy to just keep going though.
Let's go.
I've got the ladder. Here we go. Right at the chapel.
Quadrillion. This is the only place you find that number written on this island. 1/10 of quadrillion. How suspicious.
If our idea is right, there should be some sort of device embedded on that relief.
You just need to check who's going up.
I'll go. Hold that ladder down, okay? Be careful. It is fairly high up. God damn it, that's not helpful. Rudolph climbed up the propped up ladder, step by step as the rain poured down on him. Look at the queue. See anything? Some sort of device. Ladder's a bit shaky. Oh boy. There he goes.
What is it? Did something happen?
Bingo. Take a look at this. Rudolph tossed the cue down. It hit Kraus in the shoulder and landed in a puddle. Perfect, Rudolph.
That thing's spiky on the back, right?
I know, that's like a key.
This is the key.
What does it mean? Rudolph could. Don't tell me he can take out the other letters too. Yeah, looks like it. Guess our crazy theories won't fire off after all. What's the next letter to take out?
I and then L.
I think that was right. I think that was the right voice. Oh my goodness. Following her instructions, Rudolph removed the 6 letters of the first twilight. Now that they'd gotten this far, nothing stood in the way of them solving the riddle. By trial and error, they finally reached the final stage. Here we go. Lordu! Many people think this is a silly solution. I have no problem with it. It's Lordu.
Why is it a silly solution?
It's Lordu! Lordu!
I mean, if you read Lordu, sure it is. But that's like going to Queen Elizabeth and just saying like, "Hey Quenny,
Quenny!
your name's shit."
Hey Quenny! Or Queenie even. Can we call Queen Elizabeth Queenie? Queenie?
Do we?
Yes!
Okay.
Majesty Queenie. Please don't send British assassins after us. We mean no disrespect, Your Majesty.
It says to gouge starting from the head, which must mean going from left to right. Actually, someone was having a dig at us for not. Someone was having a dig at us.
What did we do?
Tangent. Tangent.
What did we do this time?
For not recognizing the Union Jack. Oh, it's not here.
Oh, on the
It's not here on the Chiestas.
Oh.
But that's not the Union Jack, right? The Union Jack's the one with the Scottish cross on it as well.
I don't know. I don't remember.
Anyway.
It's very British, clearly. Oh, God. Rudolph's son. Starting to the left, turn the keys before taking them out. Got it. Lordu. What a dumb name, I say. Oh, it's all red and shit inside. That's very weird. Now, that we've massacred all the letters, we reach the 9th twilight and none are left alive.
So, did something happen?
It felt like something clicked, but nothing changed. Did a hidden door open up somewhere? Did he just like jump off the ladder?
I think so.
I hope so. Hey, look at that. It moved. I'm sure it did.
I feel like a large stone statue would make a lot of noise turning around. That is not the sound that stone tends to make. But anyway.
Like that. You couldn't do better.
Everyone look, the lion statue's facing the other way.
What is going on? Is there some secret inside the lion statue?
That's not it. It's probably telling us to look where the lion is pointing. See? Look that way.
She's really being rude to Natsui. Oh my god. She's just...
And lion's facing a different way too. What does it mean?
Not that dumb.
It's guiding us, stupid. We have to go in the directions the lion's face.
Ava dashed forward. The others all chased after her. Can you imagine what it would be like if we didn't have the other... Like if this was the we saw the epitaph scene, like this was the first time we saw it done. That'd be very weird. Actually, it would make a lot of sense now that I think about it, because you'd just be seeing it once instead of twice.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's Sakura's decision. The goal was right in front of them. Oh boy. Lightning.
I'm just thinking about that, like... is there anything that Ryukishi, like, skipped over in this one?
I mean, he went through most of... He just didn't flesh out the reasoning completely. Yeah, but I feel like you could have done
all
that.
All of the reasoning stuff that he skipped over was the stuff in previous episodes anyway.
Yeah, pretty much. I don't know. It's
we didn't even need you, Claire.
Wow, that's fucking rude. Minus 10 points.
Oh!
Just for that.
Wow.
I declare minus 10 points for that.
Okay.
Okay. I'm threatening point reductions and disrespecting Claire.
I just did that to bait you. I wasn't expecting to be punished.
Look, we are being punished. We're both being punished. It's the responsibility system of punishment. Like,
what?
I don't fucking know.
Okay. Now this is a surprise. Who would have thought that a hidden stairway like this existed? It makes sense now. Father didn't like people going near the chapel.
Is it culpable responsibility? Group responsibility? Anyway.
Anyhow, I would like to point out that that's the first explicit mention, I think, of my brilliant first step of reasoning.
Yeah, the people don't want to go near the chapel.
Can we flash that up on screen? There is nothing suspicious here.
Yeah, I'm sure that's a thing.
I wonder how long that device has been here. Judging by the feel of this underground passage, probably for quite a long time.
I imagine it was built at nearly the same time as the mansion itself. The riddle of the epitaph was probably also planned many decades ago. Well, this is the dad we're talking about. I try not to let the things he does surprise me, but this... Just how far does the stairway go? Hey, maybe that old rumor's true, you know. The story about him having a mistress and he had a mansion somewhere in the forest.
I do find it interesting that they're like... Their inner family rumor is still treated as though it's like
kind of taboo,
this cagey underground thing.
Yeah.
Because it's like these are the only people in the world that really care about Kinzo's hidden mistress.
Like everyone knows Kinzo is dead. Everyone knows about the mistress. Maybe like just talk about it. You damn nerds.
It's just
stupid. It's just highlighting like the bullshit politics that goes on, right?
I suppose.
Like a lot of that in episode 1 kind of hides the truth. You know.
Yeah.
Probably Ava, right? Kyrie, maybe Kyrie? I'm with Kyrie.
Go with Kyrie.
I see. It's likely that this underground passage goes all the way there.
I wonder if it connects to the mansion from that day. I think we found the goal. Look at that filthy door. Something's written on it.
Bingo. Something was written on the door in red paint. On the 10th twilight, at journey's end, you shall attain to the power of the Golden Lens treasures once and for the last time. So we're not going to get like the red flash up either, like in episode 3. Does it open?
You know, that's actually quite interesting that they wouldn't do that.
For dramatic effect? I mean... I'm just pointing out design at this point, which is kind of fun. I'm not even like, what do you think about what's gonna happen? I'm just like, I'm gonna point out stuff that's fun about how Ryukishi designed this scene.
The other
this is
thing,
my jam.
Because I remember in the episode 6 podcast, shout out to that.
Yay.
You were talking about how...
Oh no, have I let something else slip?
No, you were talking, well, kind of, but you were talking about how, to you, part of one of the obvious things about the culprit was how Shannon and Cannon always appeared very heroic.
Yeah.
I do find it interesting that Ava has been given most of the credit for solving everything in this scene. I almost feel like it would make sense as though the reason we're not seeing the red here written in red is because whoever's writing about this might not have known about, like, the rules of the game.
I guess. Wait, what do you mean? But I'm gonna have to ask you to elaborate on that, because even I don't know where you're going with this.
I was just...
Oh, you mean like the red truth?
Yeah.
Well, the quadrillion was also in red. Like, I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know.
I just find it interesting that, like, the way that this entire thing is being portrayed is still pushing Ava as the one that solved everything. Like, that's what we got in episode 3, and then for some reason we're getting it here again, and I don't know if it's indicative of a truth or if it's indicative of, like, the same kind of writing perspective as you commented on for Shannon and Cannon. It just made me think of the same thing.
Yeah.
I don't even, like, anyway.
Maybe. I don't know. It's a good thing to think about. But yeah, like, for context for the people that I haven't talked about this with, I mentioned the playthrough once, but like, in episode 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, whenever people get murdered, Ken and Shannon are always like defending them and fighting them back and being very heroic. Same with, you know, with Goda, though he isn't really He's a giant dumb.
Gerda is portrayed as a bit of a dumb shit, and then we get earlier on in this episode, I don't like that guy.
I don't like that guy.
Oh no, it was the end of episode 6.
Yeah, episode 6. But yeah, like, I think it's pretty fair to say that, because we're going with this theory now, I'm pre-committed to it, like, the person who's written these tales and is like, Gerda's a giant dummy, like, maybe it's because they don't like him, you know? That's what's kind of fun about it. Anyway. Did you say this line at all?
I have no clue.
Just say the whole thing.
Who was it?
Does it open?
It does, ready? I'm going to open it. So we finally reached the gold.
We can only hope that such a sweet deal is really true.
Let's open it, Nason. Right, I'm opening it.
Here we go. Let's get to that gold. The heavy door opened slowly. Then, the gold-filled underground VIP room showed itself. What if it just wasn't there?
That'd be pretty great.
That'd be like the best twist. Oh, Ryukishi, let me write for you, I swear. No, don't.
Just the one random English chapter in the middle of the book.
Yeah, definitely. They only had an instant to admire its splendid furnishings. As soon as the mountain of gold next to the canopy bed came into sight, they all froze, stunned. After a second, the stunned silence faded and was replaced by cries of astonishment and wild joy.
We didn't get the slam this time.
No. I'm very disappointed. Ava? It's gotta be Ava, right?
Incredible!
I can't believe it. There's 20 billion yen in gold. It really does exist. What a shining mountain. It almost blinds the eyes.
I'm done.
Yeah, that's fine. Everyone's happy. We did it. We did it. We win this game. Yay! Woo!
Fucking Natsui, straight out the gate. Straight out the gate.
I love her. I love her so much.
So good.
You mustn't touch it without permission. This is Father's gold. He's fucking dead. Oh, my
really?
God.
And why don't you call Father down here right away?
Oh!
Time for your fast is over and done with.
Oh, damn. Natsune-san, let's put an end to the hour's lies, shall we? We have a real mountain of gold right here. Shouldn't we all be honest with each other?
Fortunately, we're all in good mood and feeling very gracious now. Just give it up already.
Grr. Foiled again.
Damn you.
Damn you.
I would have gotten away with it.
If it weren't for you kids and your dirty Kyrie. A pile of gold this massive carries magical power within it. That power draws out the most honest feelings within people. The light from the chandelier glinted off the golden mountain, lighting them up with its golden sparkle. It was as though the sparkle controlled everyone present. For some time, they forgot their age, and howled and laughed, running about and rolling around like a bunch of excited kindergartners at a park. Damn kids. Shout out to the gold.
Oh, we're back.
Hey, we're commentating.
What is all this? What's it supposed to mean?
Before the crimes, the epitaph has been solved, and by all the siblings together.
It hasn't happened in any of the games before now.
Supposedly, Beatrice decided not to commit the crime if the epitaph was solved.
Yes, supposedly. We'll see about that.
Angie snorted, but I believed. This is what Claire decided. Because she entrusted everything to that roulette of fate, she'll obey the result. She let the roulette decide her own fate, specifically because they couldn't decide on their own. So she'll do what it says. She'll follow her own rule. She'll definitely keep her promise. I don't think the crime will occur.
You sure about that?
Yes. Her roulette has already made its decision. This is the end of her game.
If it's the end, what happens next? Do they all become happy rich people and leave the family conference unharmed? Does my family get an ingot that isn't chocolate as a parting gift before coming back to me? Will it be a happy ending for everyone? You think those witches would chain us to chairs and show us a naive dream like that?
Maybe. When she showed off the chain on her wrist with a clank, I was unable to counter her with confidence. But I want to believe that this might be the least exciting ending. Claire's game has now reached an end.
Shout out to episode 8.
Shout out to one more episode.
What the fuck's it gonna be?
Perhaps, just once at the end, she wanted to show us a world where no crime occurs. Now that she has disappeared with no regrets, she's leaving us a parting gift in the form of a game where no crime takes place. In a sense, the most peaceful sort of game. I want to believe. If only these heavy, cold chains weren't holding us in place in this theater. Sure, it's fine.
Is someone there?
Rosa's shrill cry brought the celebrating to an immediate stop. Rosa knew she'd seen it. The curtain against the wall had fluttered, and a shadow had been there behind it. Come on, don't do that. You'll just imagine things.
Is someone there? If you are, come out.
When Ava yelled, the curtain shook.
There you go.
There she is. She walked out. And then, a witch wearing a black dress appeared from the other side. In an instant, everyone realized that the dress was the same as the one worn by the witch of the portrait. And they realized one more thing. This person was the owner of this room. Welcome to the Room of the Gold. Her face and her voice were expressionless, blank. The others all looked at each other, wondering who should respond. Rudolph was the first to speak. So, you are Beatrice. Indeed.
And you're the one who gave Maria that letter?
Indeed.
Is father behind this?
No. This is my game.
If that's so, then we've won. We've solved the epitaph's riddle and found the gold.
We've accepted your challenge and won. That means this gold belongs to us, right? Indeed. It is as you say. You have solved the epitaph splendidly and discovered the hidden gold. This game ends in your victory. This gold no longer belongs to me, but to all of you.
It seems you're a graceful loser. Hey you, if we hadn't solved the epitaph's riddle, what were you planning to do?
The lair said that you'd take everything or they'll show me a family. Yes, I plan to take all of your wealth and all of your lives. I plan to do as I please with everything that exists on this island. The witch walked towards the table next to the bed. Then, for the first time, the others realized what sat on that table. There were 4 rifles. There was also a case filled with bullets. The witch picked up one of the lead bullets lying on the table and played with it, her face still expressionless as she spoke. If this night ended before you managed to solve the epitaph's riddle, I plan to follow the epitaph and commit 13 murders.
What did you say?
That's what I thought when I first saw the epitaph. It almost looks like something you'd find in a serial murder mystery novel. That's right. If you had killed 13 people to match the epitaph, that would have made for quite a mysterious crime. There's no way you could do all of that by yourself. No matter how many guns you had, killing 13 people, that would just be... I formed my plan with great care and constructed several alternatives. I envisioned all of the actions you might take from tonight and through tomorrow, and prepared a mystery to deal with each of those. I'm afraid I cannot reveal those at this point, but it really was a tightly knit set of pleasant closed-room murders. Yeah, if there were just a few of us, he probably could have gunned us down in our sleep. But there's no way he could have killed 13 of us. We aren't that stupid. It would seem so. At any rate, I predicted the epitaph being solved. I predicted that the epitaph being solved before the first twilight was the most unlikely result.
It would seem that us reaching this place was a miscalculation on your part.
No. Even this was one of the results of the roulette I wish to create. This is probably the best outcome for all of you. No one will die, and you can leave this island with the gold. Congratulations. This game ends with a perfect victory for you all. If no one could solve the riddle, she planned to take a gun and commit a serial murder. Everyone gulped as they watched the witch, emotionlessly, make her confession. If this confession of yours is the truth, that means you were trying to kill us. Yes, that is true. The hell? How can you just say it like that?
You couldn't possibly expect us to treat you favorably after revealing that much to us, right?
I am prepared. You may do as you will with me. If you hadn't solved the epitaph, I would have done the same to you. So, it is only fair. This girl's got guts! I planned this game because I was prepared to bet my life. I am satisfied with the result. If you wish to kill me now, I am prepared. By now, she didn't even treasure her life. As the witch spoke and walked near the others, they automatically stepped back. The gold belongs to all of you. I planned to give everything to the one who discovered it first, but I didn't expect there to be 7 of you. I leave the decision of how to split the gold to you. I will not involve myself, and... The witch walked even closer. The group parted and she walked up to the antique clock behind them.
That's new.
The clock was large and had a dignified feel to it. The witch patted it and spoke. Allow me to explain the device within this clock. For you have gained not just the gold. You have gained not just the gold, but the entirety of this island.
What do you mean by that?
If you read it like a murder case up until the 8th twilight, then only 13 people are killed, but by the 9th twilight, it clearly says that none are to be left alive. What does that mean? That she was planning to massacre all of us?
Don't tell me that clock.
As you have guessed, it is linked to a set of explosives. Are you the one who set that up, or was that Ushumi Kinzo? Kinzo is the one who set the device. It's the source of this mad magical power. I don't have a clue what you're talking about. In other words, Dad set up this bomb, and if he ever went broke, he was ready to wipe out everything, including himself, and die. On this island, Ushumi Kinzo made a contract with the Golden Witch and obtained the gold. However, that was not all he gained. What are you talking about?
Wait, don't tell me. Is that rumor about the remains of an old Japanese military base existing on Kenjima? Could it be?
Or rumors of that? Guess so. Your guess is correct. Beneath this island sleep the remains of an underground Japanese military base from the time of the war, along with 900 tons of explosives. 900 tons? That's unbelievable. If they exploded, the result would be unimaginable. Forget just the mansion blowing up, but leave a massive crater. I believe an expert's estimate put it at a hole several dozen meters deep and a kilometer across.
There wouldn't even be a trace left.
Those explosives can be ignited by a special device. One connected to the activation switch I just flipped. The witch toyed with the switch on the top part of the antique clock. If midnight arrives when the switch is in this position, the bombs will explode. It's almost midnight now. In other words, it would explode X hours after you flip it. It's a time-limited bomb that only explodes at midnight. Indeed, it is almost midnight now. If such an explosion is what you desire, you need only leave it like this.
Who would want that? Turn it off!
By this time, I'm sorry, I have to laugh at this. This is such a fucked up situation, but like, Ava's comment. By this time, Kinzo was probably the only one who knew. The secret base in Rokenjima had started out as a submarine base. However, when that plan reached a standstill, it was redefined as a top-secret base for Homeland Defense. A huge plan had been drawn up to have the Army and Navy perform a pincer attack on American forces if the latter decided to land on Kujikuri Beach and press towards Tokyo. As a trump card for this massive defensive maneuver, the Navy started stockpiling large quantities of explosives and fuel in absolute secrecy. And the Rokenjima base was the location of that top-secret stockpile. The buried explosives weighed 900 tons in total. Also, fearing that the Americans might find out the island's secrets and seize the explosives, they set up a system for the self-destruction of the entire island. Kinzo, who knew all of this, decided not to remove the device, but to tie it in with this strange clock that could trigger such an explosion any night at midnight. Kinzo was famous for building up his funds using a vast store of gold, then using those funds in several sink-or-swim gambles one after another. Just what did his stockpile of gold and the 900 tons of sleeping explosives mean to him? At this point, we can only guess. Perhaps the true source of Kinzo's mad power wasn't the gold after all. If he lost a big gamble on all that he owned, he could erase this entire island from existence with this device. For the rest of his life, he must have put the gold and everything else he had on the line. Kinzo probably stared at this clock at times, sometimes flipping the activation switch and letting it tick down. Maybe, whenever he came up against a troubling problem, he would hide in here and flip the switch, with the intention of blowing up everything away, if he didn't think of a brilliant plan before midnight came. He could gaze at this mountain of gold, listening to the clock tick towards his death as he searched for an idea. Perhaps, Ushumi Kinzo's real study wasn't the one in the mansion, but this place instead.
So fucked.
Yeah, it is. It's fucking ridiculous, but it's... I mean, I wouldn't put it past Kinzo, right?
It is like the definition of that statement.
I know, it's almost like we've been saying that since episode 1, and it's totally legit, right?
Oh my god, that's absurd.
I know.
Also, R.I.P. Seraphitic.
Poor Seraphitic. It's not the gun explosives.
Not the fertilizer bombs.
No, if only. That source switch sounds just like Dad, so maybe each time Dad worried about something, all of us kids were put on the line as well.
It's his father, so it wouldn't be unthinkable.
Jesus Christ. This device now belongs to all of you. If you desire a massive explosion... Sorry. If you would like a massive explosion, here's your option. Use it whenever you please. Are you crazy? Who want a big explosion? I wonder.
Michael Bay.
Michael Bay is Ginzo, it makes so much sense. These explosives are half a century old, right? Would they really go off? Yes, of course. The explosives and the fuses are still working. I tested them myself. But why did you test them? You tested them! You mean that...
I see, now I finally understand. So that's why the shrine disappeared without a trace.
Nice call, you. That summer, the shrine had disappeared completely, along with the reef under it. Though people found it odd that the waves could have wiped it out so completely, no one paid it much mind. And now, this piece fits perfectly into the hole that caused that strange feeling. Indeed. I used that shrine to test whether the explosives were still working after half a century. I believe you were all aware of the result. Oh boy. I agree, Kraus. The little bit I used was enough to make that entire reef vanish. It's easy to see how 900 tons of that caused an explosion large enough to rewrite the map.
If an explosion like that were to occur, it would certainly kill all of us. But what about you?
Certainly.
I doubt you're planning to commit a group suicide with us.
This underground VIP room is connected by a subterranean passage to the remnants of the military base. If you go straight along that, you'll come out of the hidden mansion on the opposite side of the island, Dorian. It's about 2 kilometers away. If you make it all the way there, you should be able to escape the blast. I see. So, you plan to escape to there just before the blast? I have only said that such a thing is possible. You may not believe this, but if the ninth twilight ended before any of you could solve the riddle, I plan to die along with everything else. There's something seriously wrong with this girl.
She's insane. There's no point overthinking it. If we hadn't solved the epitaph, she would have used those guns, or else that switch, to massacre all of us, right? There's no doubting that now.
You are correct. You've ended this game in the best possible way, without there being even a single victim. I wish to convey my respect and admiration. There may have been 7 of you, but you did solve that riddle, which took me so long to solve, in a single night. That is worthy of praise.
I admire you for your graciousness and honesty in defeat.
Always a gentleman.
We'll decide how to deal with you in the future, but I intend to do all I can to reach a gentlemanly agreement.
Pay me no mind any longer. I am already one of the dead, who's already prepared to kill everyone and die myself. The Golden Witch Beatrice solved the epitaph, reached this room and revived. And now, new people had solved the riddle and reached this room, so her role was finished. When the epitaph's riddle was solved, Beatrice's illusion of the witch ended. Most likely, no one in this room was capable of understanding her grim determination. She herself was probably the only one who understood. As long as the many selves inside of her understood, that was enough. Oh, I am one yet many. I abandoned myself to the magical roulette of endless possibilities. The result, the answer, is this. This is what the tarot cards known as the epitaph ceremony have shown me. Beatrice is already dead. They did not kill her. I killed her myself, in accordance with fate's command. They will never understand. For all eternity. The witch stared up at the ceiling without speaking for a while, and looked as though she'd suddenly remembered something. She grabbed at the sleeves of her dress and took out some sort of card. Oh, yes, I forgot. I have no need for money after death. I will give this to all of you as well.
A cash card?
I have converted a portion of the gold to cash. This is for the account that the money is in. I see. So, this is the source of the Golden Witch's magical energy.
How much?
I've forgotten the details. However, there is more than 1 billion yen. 1 billion? Now that really would be magic. True. There's nothing you can do with that much money. Very true. The strongest magic to counter the human's anti-magic toxin is the magic of gold. It may be that this card holds greater power than the ingots.
Certainly. Cash would be much more agreeable than ingots.
Saying certainly a lot. Here you go. I had no need of this anymore.
It is very uncomfortable how often they are doing so.
The card she held out was not taken by any of them. Who would ever just hand over a card with 1 billion yen in it? The mountain of gold, the device for blowing up the island, the card with 1 billion yen, all of these surpass their understanding. So, no one could bring themselves to take it. I love how, like, aware Ryugushi is that, like, this is insane. This is literally insane. Ugh.
Of course, they're not going to believe her that the switch is off.
We'll see. Ava? I think?
I don't like it. I didn't mean to hit that again.
I nailed it, though. I nailed who
You
it
did.
was. I don't know who... It's probably Beatrice, actually. What don't you like?
Here you go, here's a mountain of gold, and I'll turn off the explosives and give you a card worth 1 billion yen while we're at it. It sounds so far too good to be true. You're trying to trick us somehow, aren't you? I told you they wouldn't believe it. I told you literally seconds ago.
I have no desire to trick you, but I won't try and force you to believe. I have offered you everything, revealed everything. What you believe and what you do is now for you, the new masters of the gold, to decide. You're even free to disbelieve all I say and leave this place. So, of course, to put this into perspective, this is a 19-year-old, potentially genderless character with a room full of... How old are these characters? They're like 40-something, mostly? Like, I don't know. I'm just thinking about, like, this 90-year-old person's perspective on all of this, like, how reasonable they think all of this is and what their plan was to deal with this.
I mean, that's the thing with people who are, like,
they're kind of naive,
insane.
you know?
The thing is with people who are insane is that they tend not to realize that their worldview is as twisted as it is.
Maybe.
So they're like, yeah, you know, golden serial murders? That's alright, I won't do it, guys. And they'll be like, that makes sense, right?
I don't know. I mean, I definitely feel like she's given up, in a sense. She's like, you know what? I don't know what's about to happen here, but I'm gonna let...
Fuck.
Oops. Shit. It's gross.
Okay, if I can't imagine that she's lying. And how could you know that? I don't like how relaxed she's acting. It's as though she thinks she's already won. I just had an idea a second ago. What if she's lying about which is the offside of the switch? There we go. What do you mean, Nason? Just a second ago, this woman flipped the switch to the side she said would turn off the bomb. But what if that actually armed the bomb? We solved the riddle, so you turn the bomb switch from on, trying to blow us and everything else up, right?
If that is what you think, then feel free to flip the switch on this clock. It'll be midnight in 1 minute. The clock will show you the truth.
What did you say?
Hey, what are we supposed to do? Is the bomb set to on now, or to off?
I can't imagine she's lying. It's inactive now. You shouldn't flip it. But I don't like it. Why is she so resigned to her fate? Why is she offering us things one after another? She's tricking us to buy time. She wants us to buy time until midnight so she can go down in flames along with us.
Approach it with love, my dude. Approach it with love. What about the switch itself? Is there some way to tell if it's on or off? On the upper part of the antique clock was a metal switch that could slide right or left. Right now it was set to the left. However, there were no marks in particular on either side to tell which one was off and which was on. That doesn't seem right. Whatever.
To tell one which was off and which was on, as in to tell an individual.
Oh, to tell an individual. I was like, hold on. This doesn't make sense. It does make sense.
It does make sense.
Give Ryugushi 2 points.
Okay, 2 points. I will say though, I feel like if I picture a rotary switch, turning it to the right is on. In my head. I feel like that's just...
I would agree, but I don't know.
Admittedly, I understand that the circumstances are most peculiar.
They have 1 minute to maybe not die. Right?
Yeah.
Like, hey, tell us the truth. Which way is off? Left. It's off now.
You idiot! You really expect an honest answer from her. It's the opposite, it has to be. The right side must be off.
We don't have any more time, Nissan. Oh shit. What am I doing? Oh no.
It's Yoshi.
Good Ava. Don't touch the switch. 1 point to Ryugushi. It's left off now. Eva-san? Rosa. It's gotta be Rosa.
Eva-san, take your hand off it. Carry
I agree, it's off now. If she wanted to kill us with a bomb, she wouldn't have told us about it.
Beatrice! Don't you think you can trick me?
5, 4, 3,
Ah! What's happening? Oh, okay.
It's the big clock.
It's the big
The
clock.
big clock that has been doing this since episode 1.
I know.
It's so fun to finally have that come back full circle. No pun intended, because it's a clock and it literally goes around in circles. Oh boy, the second hand of the clock ticked past midnight. October 4th ended, and the curtain rose on October 5th, 1986. Mind you, this is, I need to remember, was it Kinzo who talked about how, like, there's the moment between
midnight,
like you never actually you never actually reach midnight because it's zero, which is tied in with alchemical concepts, which I'm not going to rant about too much. But like, he's like, there is no zero, there is no point where it's not one day or the other. Like, midnight is a myth. It's good fun.
Yeah.
The switch was still pointing to the left. The witch's words had been proven correct. Have I gained your trust now?
You bitch!
The hideous, sweat-covered expression, Ava snatched the cash card away from the witch's hand.
How about a bank book and a seal? We can't withdraw anything with just a card.
All you need is the PIN. It's 8 digits long.
Wait a second. I'm writing it down.
Oh, God.
Stop hitting the microphone, you
I'm
goose.
sorry, I didn't mean to. I'm a little bit closer to the mic than usual. Ava and Kyrie both took out a pen and notepad and began writing the 8-digit number the witch told them. That is everything I have to tell you and to give you. I will say nothing more. All of my tasks have been completed.
I find it really interesting, the idea that, like, maybe they actually are just seeing Shannon or Cannon here, and, like, we're just being shown the image of the witch.
You think so?
Like, there's nothing... Yeah, like, it's a weird thought, but...
Why would they be seeing Shannon and Cannon, do you think? Why would that be a thing?
I mean, one, because it might just be apparent that someone's dressed up in a garb. Two, they might have not had a chance to, like, get changed as they tried to sneak down to the room after the arbor scene. Like...
Oh, you mean like someone else, one of the adults might be like, oh, that's Shannon or Cannon. Is that what you mean?
No, I mean, like, the idea that... Because, you know, we were talking about how, like, it's kind of far-fetched to suggest that they wouldn't recognize that it was one person playing multiple people. I find it interesting to suggest that, like, in this scene, they're actually just seeing the person they recognize, but we're just being showed it through the illusion.
Oh, maybe. I don't know. It's a great question. After saying this, the witch spun around and sat down on the bed. She wasn't even looking at the others anymore. She sat there like an empty husk which had, just as she had said, finished everything existed to do. For a while, everyone watched the witch to see if she would remember something else and start talking. However, she said nothing else. The witch who had called herself one of the dead was now little more than a large French doll wearing a black dress. There you go.
Oh god, another chapter end.
Yep, chapter end.
Oh, we're still going.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Definitely.
What happens now?
I don't know. See you all next time, I guess.
Next time.
Woo! For the next part of the tea party.
What is even happening?